Many of you know about the Knight Foundation's work in the Soul of the Community poll, which we call in the office the Soul Poll. We asked 43,000 people in 26 communities across America just one question: what attaches you to your community? What binds you? What makes you want to be there? And when we got the results, the answer is, many times to me, unfortunately, it was a total surprise to me. I always assumed that economic opportunity drove attachment to community. But these Soul Poll results were pretty counterintuitive, because it really wasn't the obvious answer. I kept remembering James Carville in the War Room saying during the Clinton campaign, as I look out of the room, some of you don't remember who Clinton was, I apologize. But I remember Carville with the sign up above his desk saying, "It's the economy, stupid." And that's also what I thought it would be. And well, it turns out that it isn't the economy that binds us to a place. The number one driver that attaches people to a place is the availability of social offerings, primarily arts and culture. That added a certain immediacy and kind of panic to my work, because I knew then all of a sudden that we were in the right place at the right time, and the only thing you can do with that is to take advantage of it. Came up number one in all of the 26 communities that we surveyed. We didn't believe it, so we did it again the second year. Came up number one the second year in all 26 communities. Then we did it again the third year. It came up number one again. In second place was openness, how welcoming a place feels. I promise you, if you take a walk down Lincoln Road, you will learn the meaning of openness. And in third place was the aesthetic of a community. Natural beauty, parks, open spaces. Some of you hopefully have ocean views, so you know what I mean when I talk about that here with the beaches. And of course, I don't know if there are any elected officials here today. I'm always reluctant to say this, but the oft-cited important factor of civic engagement, as they say it from the city halls, it came in last out of 17 factors. So when I started to think about the results and I started to look at what was happening in communities, the idea of arts being an important driver of attachment began to make sense to me. I began to think about the millennials and how they are deciding where to go based upon what they think will be interesting to do there before they begin to look for a job. And when I got this information, I was excited, because while I had felt the anecdotal feeling of how communities had responded to the National Arts Program I've helped start at Knight Foundation, the Soul of the Community confirmed it. It gave us statistically significant empirical data that we could rely upon, and it got a lot of people thinking. Arts leaders, mayors, and a few of you, I think, because I think you might have gotten here through that account. But a few years ago, one person had a vision as to what could be done to leverage this information. And that was the chairman of the National Endowment for the Arts, the then chairman, I'm saying, as he sits back there gleefully smiling. The chairman of the National Endowment for the Arts, Rocco Landisman. And let's talk about it. I actually didn't think he'd get up this morning, so I thought I was safe to give this speech without him being here, but there he is. So Rocco asked a handful of the leading private foundations in the country, who were significant arts funders, to come up to New York City and visit with him. He got us all in a room and he asked us to work on this idea of creative placemaking. And as any of you know, has anybody here worked with a large private foundation before? Anybody? Yeah. So if you do, you know we're kind of like the five families of in the Godfather movie. You know? We respect each other greatly, but we don't always play well together. And Rocco, using the Soul of the Community data and a number of other things that he had generated at a Sunil's shop at the NEA, outlined a concept that was so powerful that even we began to ask one thing: what is it that we can do together that we can't do apart? And from that moment, the idea of ArtPlace was born. Because we, the private foundations, along with a consortium of the largest banks in America and significant participation from the cabinet level of the federal government, we felt that this program that you're here about today, this idea had such resonance that it was the big project, the big idea. Because I'm always asking, what's the big idea? Carol's always asking, what's the big idea? And we felt that this could bring us together to work toward using the arts as a community engagement tool. Because, I mean, we're all here because we're interested in making our communities better places. And 2 years later, where are we? I mean, just look around. You know, look at this room. I'm so excited today to see everybody. It's like amazing. We're in a room full of innovators. You guys are the innovators at the leading edge of creating this new field of practice. The idea of creative placemaking, using arts and culture to create vibrancy in your community on the ground, block by block by block, person by person by person. So it's an exciting moment as we head into the third year of ArtPlace. The work you're doing in the 46 communities that Carol identified across the country is the reason so many people have attached to this idea and are excited about the potential of creative placemaking to transform communities. And I want to open this event, as Carol did, by saying on behalf of my foundation, financial, and government colleagues, we are really proud to be your partner.